Look out, boxing fans, it's your boy Ashley Knuckles. Trying to do this little video talking about the fight tonight, Lamont Peterson versus Danny Garcia. I think this is a very good matchup. In my opinion, I think it's definitely a toss-up. Both fighters do a lot of things that can make them victorious tonight. And if you look at the history of Danny Garcia and what he's done, it's been too many times he's been up against it, where all parties involved, the pundits, the boxing public, excuse me, and the fans have deemed him impossible to pull the upset in damn near all his fights. I mean, if you actually watched his career coming up, he was not pegged as a guy who would do what he has done thus far in the sport of boxing. But time and time again, he's upset the apple cart and emerged victorious in his fights. If you look at his fight style, there's really no glaring attribute that where you can point it out and be like, man, this guy is exceptional in this particular skill or craft. But what he does very well. And what he brings to the table is brute fucking strength. He's a big puncher. He has power in both hands. He has a very stiff jab. And he has great timing on the hooks. I think that may be his best attribute when looking at his skill set in the ring. If you look at a lot of his fights where guys have actually been caught with that hook, he sets it up, not with the jab, but he decoys a right hand to the body. But the whole time he's throwing that right hand to the body, he's planting that left hook into the ground, because he's about to bring all type of torque. He's about to bring all type of upper body movement, and he's going to bring a lot of leg power behind that hook. And when it lands, it usually lands with a thud, knocks motherfuckers out. And as you can see in the Eric Morales fight, he's been very successful at it. And as you can see, he's still undefeated. Like I said, he's been up against it several times in fights where guys have been pegged to beat him, and and time again, he's shown that he has the goods to reign as champion. I would have liked to have seen this fight done at the welterweight limit. I mean, I feel that both of these guys are supposed to be champions of the 140-pound division. If you're not unifying the titles, then vacate it. Don't put the division on lock where there are guys that are waiting in line to fight for those titles, and you guys are basically holding up the defense of those titles at that weight. So if you're going to be a welterweight, go to welterweight and fight. Don't hold up the division and basically put the division on lock by not defending those titles at that weight. Give up the titles, move up, and become full-fledged welterweights. This fight should not be at a catch weight. I think both guys are big enough to where they should be able to handle the additional weight that fighting at welterweight brings. And maybe this is just another fight to help them get acclimated with the weight, considering it is a catch weight fight, but the catch weight is within the welterweight division. So speaking in terms of Lamont Peterson, this guy has seen a lot of ups and downs in his career thus far, and he's fought the who's who in the sport of boxing. He's fared well against some guys, and he hasn't fared so well against other guys. A fight with Timothy Bradley, he put it all on the line, and basically Timothy Bradley shut down everything Lamont Peterson tried in that ring. But he was on his ass, though. He was on Timothy Bradley. Timothy Bradley just had a better game plan. He fought in spots, he boxed in spots, he countered in spots. And at the end of the day, everything he did in the ring was what he needed to do to shut down Lamont Peterson. And he came up short against Lucas Matisse, but he also has good wins. I thought the win against Khan was a very good win. A lot of people think he should have lost that fight because the referee was quote-unquote over-officiating, but I beg to differ. The referee is the third man in the ring. He is the man that is in charge. The fighters, the combatants, have to listen to his instructions throughout the course of the fight. They don't have to listen to what the commentators are saying, because the commentators don't know a motherfucking thing. They don't have to listen to the guys with the computers in press row, because the guys with the computers in press row don't know a motherfucking thing. The guy that's in charge in the ring is the third man. And the third man in the ring tells you to stop doing something, you need to stop doing it. Amir Khan was pushing over and over in that fight with Lamont Peterson because he don't have no inside game, and Lamont Peterson made it a game of inches. That's a game that he has mastered. And because Amir Khan has no inside game, when Lamont Peterson closed the distance and got in his chest, he would push him off. Well, he pushed over and over and over and over. Well, pushing is a foul in the sport of boxing. Do yourself a favor. Google the unified rules of boxing and read it, and compare that to what the commentators have been telling you thus far in terms of what is supposed to happen inside the square circle. And if it's not congruent to what you read with the unified rules of boxing, that ought to tell you that the commentators and the media alike don't know dick about this sport. Well, pushing is a foul, just like headbutts are a foul. Forearms and headbutts and rabbit punches, all that shit is a foul. And the guys who fight dirty have been able to master fouling without getting caught. And I could think of like a Bernard Hopkins fight. Like he would hit a guy in his hip over and over and over on the referee's blind side. If the referee don't see it, guess what? It's not a foul. It's not illegal. Well, it's illegal, but he has to see it in order for it to be called illegal. The judges can't start deducting points because they see it. They don't deduct points. You know, they score the fight on the 10-point must system, but they can't deduct points as they see fit. The referee can, not the judges. At the end of the day, the referee told Khan to stop pushing. He didn't do it, so he continued to take points away, and Khan could have legitimately been disqualified in that fight. So I don't think the referee over officiated. I think Khan was playing with dangerous waters. But anyway, what Lamont Peterson brings to the table is a good boxing skill set. You know, when he was coming up through the ranks, he would outbox guys and fight on the inside. Well, as his fight career has progressed, he's basically abandoned a lot of his boxing skills. And when he tried to pull it back to the table in terms of having a fight plan against Lucas Matisse, he got clipped in the process. I think the fight with Lucas Matisse could have went a different way if Lamont Peterson would have used his inside game against Lucas Matisse. I thought they had the wrong game plan going in, and as a result, he got clipped. But I did think Lucas Matisse was going to win the fight anyway, so it's not like it was a tremendous upset. I just didn't think Lamont Peterson would get clipped. Well, anything can happen in the sport of boxing, and anything can happen in this fight with Lamont Peterson and Danny Garcia. And I think Lamont Peterson is going to box at times, and I think he's going to fight on the inside at times. I think he's a tremendous inside fighter. I think he has great inside game, and I think he can make the fight very confusing for Danny Garcia, even worse so than the Mauricio Herrera fight. But one thing has told me is you can't just go off of what your gut tells you. You have to study the tapes, and what the tapes have shown is that Danny Garcia has found ways to win fights over and over and over again, especially his fights he was not picked to win. He has won, and he has won in impressive fashion and continued his undefeated streak and his reign as champion. And I really think Lamont Peterson has everything it takes to win this fight, but you know, he has a great defense. I think he protects himself very well, but I think, you know, at times he can get a false sense of security of where the fight is going, and he can't afford to do that in the ring with Danny Garcia, a guy who was accustomed to timing those big hooks. So my heart says Lamont Peterson is going to win, but I have to go with what history has shown us, and history has shown us that Danny Garcia is a fighter that finds a way to get the job done. He's probably not the king of adapting the guys, but he does everything he needs to do to emerge victorious, especially in fights he's not supposed to win. You have to teach this man how to lose. He hasn't lost before, and I think he's not going to lose tonight. I really think Lamont Peterson is going to win, but I'm picking Danny Garcia to continue doing what he has done, and that's rack up W's. I see a victory for him tonight and a move up to welterweight in the near future. Till next time, it's your boy Ashy Knuckles. Leave it in the comment section. Deuce.